There are many things that define us as Christian, but what's the most important one? Stay tuned and find out. Hi, I'm Pastor Zach, and you're watching From the Desk from First Evangelical Free Church here in Colorado Springs. A happy Good Friday to you, and a happy Easter coming up in just a couple of days. This is Holy Week. I wanted to take a moment today on Good Friday to remind us that the things that define us as Christians isn't necessarily our political positions. It's not our moral code. It's not even our value system. What defines us is Jesus Christ. Good Friday, the day that we're celebrating today, is the day we remember that Jesus redeemed us on the cross. We call it good because on this day, Jesus took our place after living a good and holy life, died on the cross in our place, paying the price of our sins that we really should have paid. In every opportunity that Jesus had, he chose to obey, the complete opposite of what we do when we so often choose rebellion, choose disobedience. Because he lived that perfect life, he was able to stand in our place. He died on the cross, enduring the most excruciating form of capital punishment that existed, so cruel that Roman citizens couldn't be crucified without an express and explicit command from Caesar himself. Jesus endured that for you and for me. As I was reminded yesterday, we often think about Easter as a day to celebrate for other people to come hear the gospel. We need to be reminded of ourselves. We get so wrapped up in politics and culture wars that we forget that as Christians, first and foremost, what we rejoice in, what we celebrate, what we commend to the world is that in our place, though we were rightfully damned for an eternity of God's wrath poured out on us, instead, Jesus died. His blood cleansing us from our unrighteousness, taking away the guilt of our sin and placing that guilt on himself so that we can stand before God justified, so that when he looks at us, he sees Jesus' righteousness and not our sin. This is what defines us as Christians. And while all of those other things are important, we absolutely should be taking a pro-life stance. We absolutely need to be talking about what God says is right in creation order. We absolutely need to care for those who are hurt, both physically in their needs. We need to show compassion in that way, and spiritually by telling them how God has loved them. But so often we're more concerned about moral behavior, about what policies reflect Christian values, that we miss out that the most important thing is what happened today, more than 2 millennia ago, that in the middle of our sin, when we were fully deserving of God's wrath, that Jesus died for us. We should read Romans 5 this week, starting in verse 6, reminding us that God displayed his love for us by sending Jesus, that through one man, Adam, as we see in Romans 5:12, all sin entered into the world. That in Romans 3, that we've all sinned, that there's no one righteous, not one. And yet, because of the gospel, because of Jesus, we can stand before God justified, our relationship with him restored. I hope that you take time to remember that on this Good Friday. Not just because it's Good Friday and it's a Christian holiday, but because this is the day we remember why it's good. Hopefully you have great plans for Easter. We hope to see you at our church, First Evangelical Free Church, right there on the corner of 30th and Fontanero. If not, we of course can see you online using our stream right here on YouTube. And make sure you've liked, subscribed, and hit the bell notification so that when we do go live, you know about it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Happy Easter from First Evangelical Free Church.